Matthew Golden is red hot, and he is the next prospect up in the Rookie Profile series. We're going to go through the film breakdown, highlights, in-depth trade analysis. We're going to talk stats. We're going to give you the background and everything you need to know to understand Matthew Golden's fantasy football value. John, the wide receiver out of Texas gained a ton of momentum coming off of the college football playoff. We're going to get into it in this episode, whether that hype is legit or whether he's just a little overrated at this point.
I actually am shocked. He might be my highest riser over the last 6 weeks. I did not expect him to go pro. He played 3 seasons in college, and it was not really on my radar. So I had to do a lot of work rather quickly on Matthew Golden. He surprised me twice in his lifetime already, 1 by choosing Houston and 2 by leaving Texas early. In high school, he was a 4-star prospect and the number 26 wide receiver in the state of Texas and the number 155th player overall. In 3 high school years, Matt, he was really good. Over 3,200 receiving yards, 32 touchdowns. And you don't see this very often. He posted 2,000-yard campaigns. He was a kick return specialist, and he ran track and field. And you can see that on the tape. He surprised me first by choosing Houston over LSU, TCU, Arkansas, Pittsburgh, and Wisconsin, just to name a few. And I was all in on Matthew Golden in my Dynasty College Fantasy Football League. As a true freshman in 2022, he played in 11 games and made 8 starts, 538 snaps. Matt, we love that kind of production. And not only was he just on the field, he had 38 catches for 584 yards and 7 touchdowns. He had 5 kick returns for 116 yards, averaging 23.2 yards per return. He had 200-yard receiving performances in his final 5 games as a true freshman. So you saw this escalation of talent and production on the field. As a sophomore in 2023, he was named second team All Big 12 at kick returner and punt returner, and Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Year honorable mention. Now, if you look just at his raw numbers, he might not be as impressive as you think. Snatched 38 passes for 404 yards and 6 touchdowns. But Matt, you have to look at him holistically as a sophomore. He had 274 snaps out wide and 124 in the slot. That's pretty nice versatility there. And he had 35 yards on kickoff returns. He ended up second nationally in return grade by PFF with a 90.4. Remember, that was a kind of a disaster year for Houston. So part of it is the context of the team that he was on. In the spring of last year, he surprised me for the second time, Matt. He decided to transfer for Texas for his 3rd season of college football. He started all 16 games for the Longhorns. He posted career best across the board, 58 catches, 987 yards, and 9 touchdowns. He averaged a meaty 17.0 yards per catch. In 2 of his final 4 college games, he surpassed 145 receiving yards. He had 162 against Georgia in the SEC championship game, 149 versus Arizona State in the CFP playoffs. He comes out of school early, which tells us he must have gotten a really good grade, which piqued my interest. I know, Matt, you broke them down for the viewers. What does your analysis say?
Yeah, I think the reason so many folks are excited about Matthew Golden at this point is because he brings a rare combination of high floor for fantasy football purposes. Now, when you're watching Matthew Golden tape, you're going to see right off the bat, he separates consistently. He's got good downfield speed and he gets to top speed quickly. He's good laterally. He moves well in short space. Really reliable hands, John. I like his ball skills. He reacts well. You could see here against Arizona State, he catches the ball thrown behind him. Yeah, and continues upfield in stride right there. He's really effective at all three levels of the field. Look at these reaction skills here, able to go up and get this ball over a Georgia defender in the SEC title game. He's got sharp feet. I like the way he gets through his routes. He flips his hips well. He separates. Yeah. And he is absolutely a threat after the catch as well. So you see him, he wins in the red zone. He wins in the short field, really well-rounded guy. He's fluid navigating around the field, and his vertical athleticism comes up often when you're looking at his film and what he does well. I will say, when you're talking about Matthew Golden, you do have a bit of a basic route tree, right? And I think that has to do with his time in Houston. Like you mentioned, he wasn't asked to do a whole lot, but what he does, what he's asked to do, he does well. He works well out of the flat. He's got a really nice out route. He runs a good post, and he's effective running the go along the sideline as well. And like we mentioned, he's effective after the catch. So it's the speed, it's the hands, all of that helps him win and be effective when it comes to performing at a high level and translating to the NFL. But when we're talking about performing at a high level, we have to be talking about the resources available over at patreon.com/rookiebigboard. The link to join our community will be in the episode description. You have to get in on the 80 plus rookie profile articles already completed, the most in-depth advanced rookie rankings out there, along with my dynasty rankings, the Devy rankings, personalized advice in the Rookie Big Board Discord, one-on-one draft consultation calls, so much more. If you're enjoying these rookie profiles, you will absolutely love the resources available over at patreon.com/rookiebigboard. So that's the film. It's definitely exciting. Talk to me about the stats.
Matt, when I watch him, it really does remind me of a way of Jordan Addison. I say to myself, he's so fluid and natural receiver with such body control. He needs to be the Robin to someone's Batman. Just like Devonta Smith is second fiddle to A.J. Brown in Philadelphia, and then Jordan Addison gets to play Robin with Justin Jefferson. If Matthew Golden lands in that ideal spot where he can be the Z receiver, you can put him in motion and you let him excel in what he's great at, I really like him a ton, Matt. And we've discussed it before for the stats. I like when yards per reception and PFF A are in sync. 14.7 yards per route and a PFF A of 13.5. Matt, he's going down the field. He's catching passes deep down the field. And he has some nice yak yardage after that. 68% catch rate. And Matt, we've looked a lot at Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers isn't the most accurate quarterback in the history of college football. So I like that 68% catch rate for Matthew Golden. There are two minor red flags that I think are worth discussing. He only has an aerial dominator rating of 22%, but that wide receiver room at Texas was kind of crowded, and he didn't really take over the locker room or the pecking order until kind of like late in the season. So I got to put that number in context. And his receiving yards per team pass attempt, 1.82. That does make me a little bit nervous, but he showed me growth from Houston to this year at Texas, Matt. If he's with the right coordinator and the right coaching staff, I think continued growth will happen. What should fantasy footballers know after you broke down the tape and you graded him, Matt?
Yeah, let's put it all together here. That's what it's all about here at the Rookie Big Board, translating it all for fantasy football value. I'm projecting Matthew Golden to be a top 50 NFL draft pick. That does seem to be a pretty consensus take at this point in time. I don't think he's going to be a top 20 guy. He's going in my 21 to 50 overall bucket. I could see him being, a late round one pick, Washington sitting there. You have to think would absolutely love to add Matthew Golden in the back end of the first round. But if not, he's going to be one of these guys that the teams are trading up and fighting over early on day two to go ahead and get him. You put that together with all the traits, the stats, the film we've talked about. I think he's going to be a consistent low-end wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 3. So consistently performing as a weekly starter in your fantasy football lineup, finishing wide receiver 18 to wide receiver 24 on the week. A really nice player to add to your roster in the back end of the first round of Superflex leagues, because that's where I expect his ADP to go, 109 to 112. And in that range, John, I'm going to be fairly aggressive adding Matthew Golden. I want good exposure. Somewhere between 26 and 40% is what I recommend. I want to get him on my team. And if you're able to add him to an already competing roster, assuming you're drafting in the back end of the first round, that's going to be a really nice guy to add into that. And I will say, John, it's going to be adding to the exposure that I already have for Matthew Golden, because I did actually draft him in a few Devy leagues coming off of that big season at Houston. I saw he transferred up to Texas. He absolutely passed the eye test. I'm excited to see what he's going to do at the next level, because he should be an immediate contributor for fantasy football lineups, just like the rookie big board is immediately contributing to value added on those championship building rosters. Make sure to join our community over at patreon.com/rookie big board. For those watching this video, if you learned even one thing about Matthew Golden from this episode, do us a huge favor and drop us a comment. Let us know what you thought of the video. Class is going to be in session all rookie draft season long. From the FF Educator and the Gridiron Scholar, we're going to be back real soon with another rookie profile.